What's up everyone and welcome to another Wayfarers East Heroclix tutorial, and for this video we are going to be talking about action tokens. Now, an action token is given to a character anytime they commit a non-free action. So anytime an action is considered to be non-free, like a power action, a move action, a close combat action, or a range combat action, then they would receive an action token for their efforts. So, make sure that you're paying attention to your character's powers and their specifics. So like, for example, if you were using Force Blast, or no, in this case Emma Frost has hypersonic speed. So the first line of hypersonic speed says give this character a power action. Alright, anytime a power or ability or something, or a special ability or a trait allows them to do that, they will be given an action token after the action's resolved. Alright, so for example, if she was given a power action to use hypersonic speed, and she wanted to go, for some reason, make a close combat attack against Manhunter, which normally wouldn't happen, but if it did, then she could hypersonic speed over, make the attack, roll for breakaway. If she succeeds, then she could go over here, end her movement, and then after that movement is finished, the ability has been carried out, then she would get an action token. I'm using poker chips for this. You can use anything you want. You could use pebbles. You can use quarters. I used quarters for the longest time. Basically, any small token can be used as an action token. And then, yeah. So then you get yourself an action token once the action has been resolved, they call it. When the action is over, then you get the action token. There are some abilities that say, like, after actions resolved, deal this character 1 unavoidable damage, like Colossal Stamina. Then you would do that 1 unavoidable damage after the action token has been given. Okay, now, there are a couple different things to note when using action tokens. First off is that whenever a character has the ability to use Willpower, he or she may have 2 action tokens without having to worry about taking 1 unavoidable damage. Now, if a character does not have Willpower, or Indomitable, or the Power Cosmic team ability like Emma Frost does here, then every time you have 1 action token and you are given another action token, whether it be through like Incapacitate, or you decide to give yourself an action token to do another power action or move action or whatever, then you would give yourself that second action token, and then after action's resolved, after the token has been given, then you deal your character 1 unavoidable damage. She would click her down, say, so she was on click 1, now she's on click 2, and it would go something like that. Now, when a character has 2 action tokens, they are not allowed to make another non-free action unless they have the ability called Colossal Stamina, or something like the, I think it's Masters of Evil team ability, something that allows them to keep pushing after they have 2 action tokens. One thing to note, that when you are using Colossal Stamina, you do give yourself 1 unavoidable damage after every action that you do, and you are not allowed to clear your action tokens at the end of that. So when you have 2 action tokens, you have to wait a turn in order to basically rest your character, to clear your character. So if Emma Frost here used their second action to end up here, say she gave herself a move action, then she would have an action, the second action token. Then when your turn is ended and it comes back to your turn, you would have to wait that entire turn while doing nothing with her. Well, you could give her a free action, but any non-free actions would not be valid. So you'd have to wait that entire turn without giving her a non-free action, and then you would be able to rest her. And then that's during the resting phase of your turn. It's supposed to be the last thing you do, so that you don't, try and rest and then give yourself an action or something like that. But then once you are rested, then the turn after that, you may start giving her action tokens again. Now, characters may only be given 1 non-free action per turn unless the card or some ability states otherwise. So if I use hypersonic speed with her, I can't use hypersonic speed again that turn. That would be giving her 2 non-free actions in a turn, and that is not legal. Also, one thing to note, that depending on the point value of your team, that would decipher how many total actions can be given that turn. So for example, say we were playing with 4 members of the Phoenix Force, all right, and they're all playing on their first click or dial, They are 295 points apiece, so you're going to be playing a 1,200 point game with them, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Well, a 1,200 point game, what you do is you divide the total number of points on your team by 100, and that talks about how many different actions can be given to your team per turn. So if it's 1,200 points, then that means 12 actions can be given to your team per turn. Now remember, you can only give your character one non-free action per turn, so you wouldn't have to worry about exceeding that action limit with 4 characters. But say you had 12 or 13 characters on a 1,200 point team, then one of them would not be able to be given an action that turn unless they had a special ability that allows them not to be counted towards their action pool, like the Brotherhood of Mutants team ability. And that's basically how action pools work. And let's see, is there anything else that I'm forgetting to cover when it comes to action tokens? Don't forget that you can't give yourself more than one non-free action per turn. Anything that says in the power or ability or trait or whatever, give this character a power action, give this character a movement action, give this character a range combat or close combat action, then you are giving your character a action token. Now, if it just simply says like defend or I believe defend is a power action. For example, close or combat reflexes. Modify this character's defense value by +2 against close combat attacks. It's not an action. It doesn't require you to do anything. You don't even have to worry about it being a free action. It's just there. So anytime it says give this character a power action, range combat, close combat, movement action, you're giving him an action token. Anytime it says give this character a free action, then they are allowed to make that action, depending on what it is, without having to worry about getting an action token after that. Also remember that you do have to take a turn to rest your characters after an action token or 2 action tokens is given, depending on what you're deciding to do with those characters. And that's basically all there is to it. I know it's quite a mouthful, and there might be one thing or two that I forgot to explain, but leave a comment in the comment section below or tweet at me or something, and I will make sure that I clear that up and answer that question for you. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you subscribe to Wayfarers East. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter and wayfarerseast.com. And without further ado, have yourself a great day.